Hi again, everybody, and welcome to USA Hockey Arena, the home of the National Team Development Program. We're speaking with U17 assistant coach Todd Krygier. And Todd, you're in your first year here, and we'll get into your background a little bit, but what brings you here to Plymouth? You have a wealth of experience all over the hockey business. Why come here and work with the U17s this year?
Okay, that's kind of a loaded question from the standpoint of, I was out of coaching for 2 years.
Yeah.
My wife passed away. We battled breast cancer for 2 years, and it was a very difficult time and tough journey. I left coaching and just set my life aside to take care of her, and I would do that. I wouldn't make any decision differently today. So I was out of coaching, and then this job opened up, and I didn't knowing if I was going to get back into coaching or not. And I got a phone call regarding this job, and I started thinking about it, and I said, there's nothing more that I enjoy than investing in, kids through the game of hockey. And we've both been in this rink a lot of years, all right? And even though I haven't been with the USA program, my kids grew up in this rink, I grew up coaching in this rink, and it just was 6 miles from my house, and I'm like, this would be so exciting to be part of the program because I have so much respect for the National Team Development Program and for USA Hockey.
So you come, like a lot of us, you come to the rink every morning or maybe in the middle of the night after a road trip with a smile on your face, right?
Correct. I drive in and I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to be here.
Perfect.
I really am.
And what's been your experience working with the 09 group really since August and maybe even before then? What's been your experience so far?
Well, my experience from a coaching standpoint is obviously Greg's the head coach, and I've been really impressed behind the scenes with his detail, with his work ethic, with how he breaks the game down and how he teaches the game. So that's been part of my experience so far. And then working with Dregs and myself, our coaching staff and our overall staff, that includes our Snake and Woody and Joe. I feel as though we're very cohesive. We have the same objectives in mind for these players, and student athletes is really what they are at this age. And I feel as though it's been a great experience from that standpoint. And then from a coaching standpoint on the ice with the guys, it's been terrific. We got a great group of guys.
Okay, I want to back up to your background a bit. We go back to the mid-'80s, and I was just starting broadcasting, and you joined UConn. I played there 4 years. You were captain the last 2 years. Had to be a great experience.
Yeah, I got cut at Rochester Institute of Technology. I went there my freshman year, got cut from the hockey team, ended up playing Rochester Junior Americans, and then I transferred to the University of Connecticut. And I absolutely loved my time at UConn. It just was the right fit for me on campus, type of campus I was looking for, and the type of experience.
And next up is the NHL draft, but you were not part of the NHL entry draft. I had to look it up. You're part of the NHL supplemental draft, which for a time was pretty much strictly for college players. From a Red Wing perspective, that's where they got Adam Oates out of the supplemental draft. How did that draft work for you? Did you have an agent? Did they call you? Obviously, it wasn't on ESPN or Hockey Night in Canada or anything. How did you find out you got drafted by the Hartford Whalers?
There were a couple things. At that time, we didn't have cell phones. I'm going to date us. We're going to age us. We didn't have cell phones. So I was at home. I knew when the supplemental draft was. I had an agent that told me that he thought I was going to get drafted in a supplemental draft. And really that draft was just put in place to protect the NHL from having to pay college free agents. That's the only reason that draft was there.
Yeah.
So they did that, and they did it the year that I'm turning pro, so they could limit the amount of money that we make, as free agents. They didn't want the free agency at that time. So that's basically how the supplemental draft started.
So you started with the Hartford Whalers, and I looked up your record, 543 games between Hartford, Anaheim, and Washington, 100 goals. Do you remember your first goal that you scored?
I do. It was in Quebec, and it was kind of a sloppy play, but I got credited for the goal. So they don't ask how, they just ask how many.
Exactly. You scored exactly 100 goals. And, again, I went down the Todd Krygier rabbit hole this morning. You're kind of I would say right now the term would be bottom six guy, kind of an agitator type of guy. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, that's totally fair. I was a grinder. Just had to work hard. I always wanted to be a goal scorer, and I always wanted to be that star, and I had every opportunity to.
Yeah.
But it's a tough league, and you got to find a role. And my role ended up being more in a grinder type of role, and and those roles are huge for teams. And I feel like most of my career I didn't embrace the role that I was given until later in my career when I realized I just need to be the best at the penalty kill that I could possibly be. I just need to be the best in the role that I have on this team instead of worrying about all the other garbage. And when I did that, I got a lot more satisfaction in the game and actually had more success.
Now, this is for fans. You want to go down a good rabbit hole, type in Todd Krygier in YouTube. I looked it up. You had a night where Mario Lemieux got mad at you and was cross-checking. You almost dropped the gloves with him. Is that right?
Yeah, it was kind of a cheap shot from him, but at the end of the day, if you're looking at Todd Krygier and Mario Lemieux, my job is to get him off the ice.
Yeah.
All right, and if we both get off the ice, I've done my job. Like, that's a good trade for our team.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those situations where that's kind of my role, to be that agitator, to be on those guys when I'm against them, and things happen in the game, but when you watch it, see how he attacked me from behind.
I did see that. You also got Wayne Gretzky mad at you one night. He took an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Is that right?
Yeah, that was one of the not better decisions that I've made as a player, because at the end of the day, I got to defend. I got to do my job, or I'm not going to get on the ice. And when you're on the ice against the best players in the world, you have to play hard, play smart, and make sure that you're helping your team. And with Gretzky, that play, I was just playing hard defensively on him. I didn't have any ill will or intent, but at the time, you don't touch Wayne Gretzky. And I pretty much functioned as a pinball for the LA Kings for the rest of the game after I made the hit on him.
So you had a pretty good NHL career, perhaps a source of pride. 3 sons, all played at Michigan State. 2 are twins. That had to be a source of satisfaction for you.
Yeah, I'm so proud of the kids, because both the boys, Brock and Cole and Christian, played at Michigan State all for their full time they were there. And then my 2 daughters, one went to Wisconsin and played soccer there, and the other went to Iowa and played soccer there. So I'm really proud of all the kids and their work ethic, and it's a credit to their mom on what she did and how she invested in our kids, not only as hockey players, but as people. And I want them to be better people than anything they ever do in their life. So that's always been my objective and goal.
So Todd, then you got into coaching, and I'm just going to read off the places: Novi High School, Muskegon of the USHL, Western Michigan as an assistant, and an assistant with the Grand Rapids Griffins. I bet you've taken bits and pieces from all those different coaching experiences and are using them right now. Would that be fair to say? That's
definitely a fair assessment. But you didn't go back far enough. I was coaching Mike here at CompuWare.
Okay.
He started out, actually had 2 cycles through the youth hockey routine with the kids, which was fantastic. But you learn, once you become a coach, then you start thinking of, what did my coach tell me when I was playing in the NHL?
Yeah.
What did my coach tell me here? And you start realizing that there are so many good nuggets that we have to transfer over to the guys that we're coaching now. So I try and use all my experience for the benefit of the players I coach.
Todd, we're running out of time, but we'll definitely talk to you again. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Pete. Appreciate it.